Hey everybody, it's Christine at Ziedman Development, and today I would like to show you how Importacular can help you work with your employee giving. So I've already built a sample template and we're just going to take a quick look at that. And what we're going to do is we are going to take gifts from a spreadsheet. We are going to add them to existing constituents who have existing recurring gifts, and we're going to apply these payments to those recurring gifts. So that said, I'm going to go ahead and click on my pencil here to open my template and give you a quick tour. So just like with any other template, we always start with our constituent tab, and I have mapped my employees, so you can see that here. And I've added first and last name. I did set those to only update new constituents. However, I imagine all of these should be existing constituents because they are employees. And I have used the option to add that alias search for a lookup. So I've got that employee ID set up here, and I also have it set up as an alias, because if we use our employee ID as an alias, it's a great way to match those records and to make sure that you always get the same employee. This is especially important for large organizations such as hospitals that can potentially have more than one person with the same name. So you may have two John Smiths if you're large enough, and we want to make sure that we're working with the correct John Smith. So by using an employee ID that you've linked from your employee tracking software into the Razor's Edge, we can ensure that you get this data on the correct person. So since this video is not focused on how to set up a constituent mapping or an address mapping, I'm going to skip over all of the options there. Those are absolutely available to you, but I really want to spend our time looking at our gift. So as I said, we are adding the payments here, and we are applying them to existing recurring gifts. So when you start, you do have to click on the Add New Mappings to create your gift. So I'm going to open my gift mapping so you can see that first. So you can see I've mapped different fields here to populate my gift. I've set them to be not acknowledged. If I don't want to send an acknowledgement letter, I could change that to do not acknowledge. I have mapped the amount from my source field here to the amount field so I know how much they gave. I've mapped the date of their gift. I did have a designation here, so I've added that. And I've added my date to the GL post date as well. I'm working with a subtype just to identify these as employee giving. And I have added some other fields for my receipts. And then I do have my type set to cash. That's because these are the recurring gift payments, not the recurring gift. So you do want it set to cash when you're adding those payments. Next, once we have all of that mapped, then we can work with our gift area settings to determine how we're going to work with our recurring gifts. So we're going to use those area settings to decide, do we want to put the gifts into a batch? Do we want them to import directly? Are we paying pledges or are we paying recurring gifts? If we're paying recurring gifts, how do we want to identify which recurring gift to work with? I'm working with First Found, but if you have a gift attribute or a gift reference that you want to use to identify a specific recurring gift, you can do that as well. You can also opt to copy the fields directly from the gift. So say we don't know for sure what the campaign fund and appeal should be for those recurring gifts. We can always check those boxes, and that way we can override what's in the template with what we have in Razor's Edge on the recurring gift. So that may be helpful in some situations. We can also work with our gift tab here if we need to make some assignments for those appeals and packages, or if we just want to add gifts to new constituents or just to existing. We can work with some gift matching. So if you're not sure if you imported these payments or not, you can always work with matching to avoid adding duplicate gifts. And then last but not least, we have some exceptions here that we can work with to work with our recurring gifts and pledges as we need to. So what do you do if there is no matching recurring gift? Do you want an exception, or do you want it to create a cash gift? If the amount is different, do you want an exception? What if your transaction dates are different than the schedule? What do you want to happen if the transaction isn't active, if it's been skipped? So lots of options there. And then at the bottom, there's lots of options if you're working with pledges of what do you want to do if this payment changes the amount of the pledge, if it exceeds it. Do you increase the pledge? Do you change the gift amount to be equal to the applied amount? Do you want to create a cash remainder? So lots of different options you can work with here. I'm going to leave this as it is. And I'm going to go ahead and save and close this so we can go to our batch and you can see what this looks like from there. So we're just going to work with those first 3 records in our sample. I'm going to click continue and let Importacular match those records to the records in Razor's Edge. And you can see I have 3 records. They are already in Razor's Edge and they already have recurring gifts. So we've got James Bond here. You can see that we have a gift that was paid on 6/6/2022 of $2.50. So let's come back here just so you can see James Bond's record. We do have a recurring gift, and if we open his recurring gift, he does have a payment due on 6/6/2022. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to close this. We've already validated off camera, so I'm going to uncheck the validate, and we're going to import now so that we put our gifts directly in the batch in the Razor's Edge. And we do want to proceed with that import. So we've imported, we were successful on all of these gifts. If we open our control report, we'll just see a nice summary of that information. I'm actually going to close Importacular because I want to take you to that gift batch. So we're going to close all of these windows and let's open that gift batch. And I want to show you, we've got James Bond here. If we click up at the top and we open this, we can see that it's set to apply to that recurring gift. Take a quick peek here at Miss Holly Rosebush. Same thing, she's applied to her pledge, or her recurring gift. And also, let's just take a quick look here at Edward Cullen. Same thing. So right now these are still showing as cash, but once I commit the batch and we apply those payments, we will apply them to those recurring gifts and we will be able to see them there. So we're going to go ahead and commit that. And we've got our control report that shows that a gift type has changed to recurring gift pay cash for all 3 of those gifts. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to close. I'm just going to reopen that batch just so you can see James Bond's account one last time. And if we come here, you can see that we have added that payment to his recurring gift. And it does look like he had a relationship with his employer that created a matching gift pledge as well. So all of that to say, I hope that this is helpful for you in seeing how Importacular and the recurring gift payment data destination can help you work with your employee giving. If you have any questions about how this could specifically work for you, please don't hesitate to reach out to our team. We're always happy to help. Thank you so much and have a great day.